Hello, everybody. Our book is Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. My name is Austin Zorak.
Hello, my name is Heidi Spear.
Hi, my name is Ellie Schuler.
In this book, we're going to go through the 6 C's and talk about the content we've learned in the book, how we can apply it to things we've learned in class, and how we can apply it to things we've learned at Purdue. The author is Daniel Kahneman. He's a psychologist, and he's an expert in judgment, decision-making, and behavioral economics. The book highlights things he's learned throughout his entire career about the ways that the brain thinks and different systems that the brain uses to make decisions. So if we look at this picture of Ellie here, you may try to think about what's Ellie's emotions right now. Is she maybe in pain, or is she a little bit confused? So I'm sure a few things pop into your head immediately on what she is thinking, what she is feeling. And then you may also think about, why is she feeling this way? Why may she look confused? Is she trying to figure out a problem? Is she laughing a little bit? Is she showing senses of joy? And so those two different things you're thinking about is your immediate things you can see from her face and her emotions. And then also you're using some critical thinking to think about why she is having these emotions. So in the book, it highlights there's two different systems that the brain uses to make decisions. So there's system one, which is activated automatically, and it has little sense of control. So that was your immediate reaction whenever you saw Ellie's face. And then there's also system two that depends on experiences, choices, and concentration. So your system one was activated immediately, and then your system two you used to think about why Ellie might have been having those feelings, and it uses your own experiences. It takes work for you to think about why the system, or why she was thinking that way. And so we have to realize that there's two different ways our minds thinks, and try to kind of program that system one for immediate reactions, and then use our critical thinking and experiences for system two.
So now we're moving on to the communication part of it. And we kind of looked at the point of view of the book, who the audience was reaching, the creation, and the tone. So for the point of view, we talk about how Kahneman provides an analysis on the decision-making process through a psychologist's point of view. And then the audience that he's reaching, honestly, this book captures the attention of anyone seeking to improve or better understand decision-making. It's very easy for a reader to read and kind of understand. As far as the creation of this book was to allow others to see human flaws in their thinking and interpretation, kind of going back to what Austin talked about with the two systems. In theory, we evaluate decisions in a two-part system. The tone was overall probably informative and formal. And then we move on to the context. So kind of the time frame of this book, it was written in 2011, and kind of looking back, we saw that in 2007 to 2009 was the US Great Recession. So a lot of companies were working up on building their financial portfolios. So this was a good time for his book because he's kind of trying to alter the way that humans kind of go about the decision-making process. And a lot of that probably had to be done as we were coming out of that recession. So it also summarizes the results of over 40 years of research in psychology. The average reader is able to get a deep explanation of the human mind and the processing we do in our surrounding environment. It also kind of helps us take control of our minds when we're making those decision-making analysis.
So moving on to connecting this to how we can apply it and how we've seen it in our last couple of years at Purdue. So looking at system one and system two and applying that to maybe some of the different classes we've taken or extracurriculars, or even deciding where we're going to go in our careers. If you think about the characteristics of system one, so you're generating your impressions, feelings, inclinations, which then turn into your beliefs, attitudes, and intentions with system two. So maybe you've had a class that is more memorization, so that's more system one heavy, or you have a business class that you've had to think a little bit harder on and use your critical thinking in system two. And then moving on into like your future career, how you're going to apply that in the future. There's going to be things that are going to be a little bit more complex thinking that you're going to have to use your system 2 versus your system 1. And just being aware of those different biases and mental shortcomings. So some examples could be confirmation bias, priming, cognitive ease. All of these things are things that are presented that we might not be aware about. And from reading this book, we learned that you can consciously avoid and predict and kind of just, again, be aware of those and using that in your future and whatever it is. So then moving on into conclusions. So after reading this book, we concluded a couple different things. That if you use your system 1 and system 2 to creatively think through a strategy when it comes to business management, you're able to react to those new threats that system 1 identifies. But when you have that base that your system 2 thought out and sticking to that strategy and being consistent, you're going to be able to have a strategic competitive advantage over those other businesses that maybe when a new threat or obstacle comes up, being able to look back at your plan you already made, make a quick decision, stick to what you have. We've seen this in our CAPSIM rounds throughout the 8 years. Like if you deviate from your plan, then you might fall short to your competitors.